Welcome to another new video, and this time we are back with a very spicy team, and we are running a Shadow Hitmonchan safe switch with a lead Golbat. And this is a Hundo Golbat, as you can see in the stats. Even we didn't know when we were running it, we just made it. So picking up a lead against a Galarian Stunfix, we're going to count to 5 because that's when they reach the Rock Slide and catch it on the Hitmonchan. This is not going to do a lot of damage, and let's see what he safe switches into. He safe switches into Galvantula, but we faced lag, and this means that we'll only get to one fire punch, and maybe we could have got into 2. I'm not sure if we would have got 2 if there was no lag, but at this rate we are definitely getting to only 1. He can shield and he can flip this easily. At least we could have gotten 2 shields, but this is looking really bad. We're going to try our best to outplay, and we're going to bring in Scrafty here. He blind throws the move, so we're expecting a discharge because that's what he would have thrown on the Golbat, and now we're going to go for a 200 IQ play, make him throw 3 of the moves and catch on the Golbat, because now he's definitely going for the lunge. There's no point in going for the discharge, and we do catch it. And now it's still looking really bad because the Golbat has no play against the G-Fisk. The reason why we switched out there is because we had lost switch advantage anyway, so there was no point in staying in. Now we're just going to try to debuff the Stunfisk so that we can counter it down, but as you can see, the Poison Fang does nothing. In fact, I think it gives him health at that point. He goes for the Rock Slide. Can we get to one more Poison Fang? We can. We were really trying to get to the Shadow Ball, but that's not going to work. So we throw the Poison Fang. This is going to do a little bit of damage and debuff him more importantly. And we're going to shield the potential Earthquake. It's a great baiting opportunity, but he goes straight for it, which is not bad. We farm him down. He still has 2 whole Mons in the bank. In comes the Shadow Swampert. We are baiting with the Power Up Punch. Do we get the shield? Yes, we do. And now we go for the foul play. This, I don't think this KOs. I was really hoping it does, but spoiler alert, it does not. So he can easily reach a Hydro Cannon, and that's a good game. That
really tough loss.
Really tough loss, because I think if we didn't get the lag, maybe we could have reached 2 fire punches and that would have changed the entire course of the game. We would have definitely won the game in that case. But never mind, and we'll get into the next one. It's always fun to run spicy mons like the Hundo Golbat and Shadow Hitmonchan, and this thing is really bad for the whole team, but the fighters can at least deal some neutral damage to it with like counters. In comes a Shadow Vic. So we go for the 0 charge here. The reason is either we get the shield here, which we don't, so that we were expecting a shield, and that's why we went for the 0 charge, and we're going to come in with the Golbat and farm him down all the way. So we're going to leave with 100 energy easy. And the best part with the Scrafty is that if you bait out the counter to the fighters, Scrafty can just simply sweep in the back. So we're just going to go for the hard farm here. Get 200 energy easily. We can throw 1 Shadow Ball, but in comes an Umbreon. So this looks amazing. Our Scrafty is set to sweep because Scrafty has nothing to fear from the Umbreon. And we can simply double shield the Skarmory. And I think we'll be able to counter him all the way down, especially if we can boost our attack. So we bait here with the Power Up Punch, expecting a shield, because the opponent knows that his win condition is with the Skarmory, not with the Umbreon, but he lets it go. But either way, like I said, Scrafty has got this. It's in the bag. There's nothing he can do. He has to shield the Power Up Punch now, and we still have a shield to block the Sky attack. And yeah, and you're going to keep seeing in this video how many matches do we have?
I think we have 9 matches.
We have 9 matches, and you'll see how many matches Scrafty can just simply punch through the backline once we get rid of the Charmer, the Ghost type, or any of the counters basically.
Basically, Scrafty is the one punch man here.
Yeah, so Scrafty is the one punch man here, running the one punch man theme team, picking up the best possible lead. There's there's a second counter to our backline. Medicham destroys the backline, and so does the Gliscor. So we're going to bait here, build up to the Shadow Ball, and go for the Poison Fang. He should be fighting hard for switch advantage. He should shield, but he calls it. Mad Lad letting that go. And now we bring in the Scrafty. He does build up to the Earthquake, but we are calling it, and he goes for the Sand Tomb, which means that he has no move that he can one-shot us with. So we're going to go for the Power Up Punch here. The reason is that we want to get our Scrafty even lower so that the Medicham cannot get much farm. And the Medicham can only get 4 counters in at this point, and we can also land a boosted foul play which will do 50% of his health. So we reach the foul play and we are able to land it. Let's see if we can get a shield, or do we get the damage? We get damage, and that's pretty good.
That's
damage.
A good 50%.
That's a good 50%, and Hitmonchan can stay away from the Medicham, which is all we really need. And he builds up to the 6 and then throws, which means it could be an Ice Punch. So we're going to shield that. Of course, we need Golbat to take out, and we're going to overfarm by 6 swing attacks and then go for the Poison Fang, maximizing our energy and also winning the CMP tie. Because Medicham has literally a negative attack stat, does so much of bulk. And we're going to shield again because we can easily farm him down, and then Poison Fang, whatever he has in the back. And in the back, there's a Shiftry. And with this lower defense, in comes Shadow Hitmonchan. And by the time he reaches 4 Snarls, we have countered him all the way down. And that's a great game. So Shadow Hitmonchan just vaporizing the poor Shiftry in the back. Shiftry is one of my favorite mons, but it has no chance against the fighters. In comes another G-Fisk. Looking at this, how many G-Fisk leads did we have? We bring in the Shadow Hitmonchan instantly, and he brings in the Tropius. We are hoping to reach 2 Fire Punches so that at least we can grab a shield. And we land the first Fire Punch. Now we're going to go for the second one on 1 HP and a Dream, and Hitmonchan putting in the work. Look at our little One Punch Man. And he goes for the second Fire Punch, but he lets it go. So the opponent like putting his faith in G-Fisk, but he does not know that we have another fighter in the back, and the best fighter out there, the Scrafty. We can easily tank an Earthquake, but we can shield since we do have 2 shields. Let's see what we decide to do. We call it, and it's an amazing call because he has a Bennett in the back. So we're going to try to use our Golbat, but before that we're going to bait here with the Power Up Punch. This is a guaranteed shield. There's no way he's letting this go. And then we bring in the Golbat because the Golbat has absolutely no play against the G-Fisk. Might as well get some use out of it. And we can tank it, not bad Golbat. We can tank a Shadow Ball from a non-Shadow Bennett, and this is going to be a Poison Fang which debuffs him, which means that we can now just counter him down. We can shield once. The potential Dazzling Gleam that would definitely one-shot Scrafty and his whole herd, but we can just counter him all the way down, and we have 1 shield, and the G-Fisk is way too low. So again, you will see this happen on many occasions. Once you draw out the counter, in this case it was the Tropius, and once the fighting counter is gone, Scrafty is primed to sweep. And there are very few double charm teams, like once you cross the like 2000 ELO, there are very few like double charm teams, so this team does pretty well. And we were actually quite surprised by going so positive. The first set was 4-1, and we won't spoil the second one, we'll tell you when we get there, picking up the Nightmare lead. But then we have very good matchup with Hitmonchan, and for some reason he's staying in, taking all that counter damage. Look at that damage. We can easily shield here, and since we have such, and now in comes the Galvantula, but the difference is there's no lag, and Hitmonchan is loaded with energy. We can easily get to 2 Fire Punches here if he goes for the lunge, and we're calling it. These Galvantulas love to bait, and we call the bait. We live on 1 HP, and we reach the Fire Punch. Clutch play by the Hitmonchan. Look at him, Hitmonchan go. We land the second Fire Punch, that KOs him. We flip switch, and you know what's going to happen? It's Scrafty time. So Scrafty comes in, and look at him go, holding his pants up and holding the match. Walrein throws an Icicle Spear, and he's just so confused. What does he have in the back? He has a Politoed. So we're just going to go for a couple of Poison Fangs, debuff him as much as we can, and then we can just counter him down. Politoed is a pretty bad mon to face with like Golbat, because Blizzard will one shot, but honestly Golbat has already like done his job, so there's no point in wasting a shield on Golbat because Scrafty can just counter him all the way down, going for power up punches. Does he shield? Nope, he calls it, but that's not going to help because we can just counter him down at this point. And that's going to be a good game. Again, Scrafty coming through. As long as we can bait out the Charmer, we can bait out the Flying type, we bait out the bulky Psychic types, you know. Once they're gone, Scrafty is literally unstoppable. We're going to get rid of some stuff here. Grab the Mon, which is Punch Charm. This is a pretty cool Mon. We are going to try to build one for the Ultra League. It's super cool. Quick catch. And let's see, we climb a pretty decent yellow. We get around like 40 points or something, and we come to the second set. This was a 4-1, and the second set starts here. No spoilers, let's see how this set goes, but this team is just so much fun. Another G-Fisk lead, the third or the fourth lead, and we instantly save switch to a Hitmonchan, and we are met with a Sableye. So this is very interesting because if Sableye goes for the return, he can one-shot us, and he can even two-shot us with the foul play. So he builds up to the return, and we have to make a call. Is this the return? And we do shield, and thankfully he does not bait us, which means we can shield once and farm him all the way down, get switch advantage, and we can land good damage on whoever comes in. But he has Kofag, and Kofagrigus or whatever he's called is not a very good mon to see with this team, and because Scrafty has a lot of play against both the mons, but Golbat has no play against the G-Fisk. So we have to bring in the Golbat. We get a shield, which is pretty cool. We're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball, no baiting. If he has a Psychic, it's going to do massive damage, but we can still live it. But he goes for the Shadow Ball, which still does a lot of damage, to be honest. He brings in the G-Fisk. We are not throwing. We need the Shadow Ball for later, so we save the Golbat. We bring in the Scrafty, we go straight for the pup because we can just like counter him down now. This is a Big call. Is this the earthquake? Sadly, it is the earthquake. He gets us, but this is where the bulk of Scrafty comes in. As compared to Shadow Machamp and the other fighters, we can tank an earthquake, as you can see. And we go for the power up punch that knocks him out. And now it's quite easy for us because we have two moves that can kill him: foul play on the Scrafty and Shadow Ball on the Golbat. We just go for the foul play here. Either we get the shield or this kills him. We don't have to go for a risky bait. It's completely pointless. Bring in the Golbat and go for the Shadow Ball, and that's a good game. Again, this was a tricky game, honestly. We had to maneuver quite a bit, like jumping left, jumping right throughout the match. But it was a fun game. You know, it's always fun when you are running Spice like a Hundo Golbat. And now we come into another GFIS League. So this is the 5th GFIS lead at this point, and that's crazy. And he brings in the Cotton Ball. I forgot his name. The fairy, the Cotton Ball, and the Fire Punch sadly is not enough to KO him. In hindsight, in this matchup, if you guys ever run into this matchup, it's best to not throw it because you can just farm him down entirely with the Golbat. But we learn, that's how we learn, by playing. We are not shielding anything here because we need Scrafty to close. We have baited out the fairy, and unless he's running a double fairy team, Scrafty is looking good. If he has anything that Scrafty is neutral against, and we even get a shield with the Shadow Ball, which is the best case scenario because now Scrafty is loaded. We are going for the shield. Does he bait us or does he go for the earthquake? Luckily, he goes for the earthquake.
That was a good
That
shield.
was a very good shield. This means that we can now overfarm a lot because it takes him 7 to 8 mud shots to get to the next earthquake. He doesn't even throw the rock slide. And what does he have in the back? He has a Vigoroth. So all we have to do is land a foul play. We go for the bait. Does he shield this? He does. Which means we can simply go for the foul play. And that's going to be a good game. Another Scrafty sweep. Like, how many times have we seen this? Just like the GFIS leads, Scrafty sweeps are a theme of the video. Our one punch man, he takes quite a few punches, but yep, they're going to get
Once
there.
he starts landing punches,
He's just going to keep
That's
boosting his attack. He's like Goku from Dragon Ball Z. And hopping into the next match, let's see if we get another GFIS lead. Like, that is the whole theme of the day. We pick up the dream lead. Finally, a very good lead, the best possible lead, and he's even staying in, which is great. He tries to catch a Poison Fang on the Medicham, but we're going straight for the Shadow Ball. Does he expect it? Let's see. And he does not. We land the big Shadow Ball damage, and he does not know how good Medicham was against the back. We shield up the potential Ice Punch, and we get rid of the big threat to our team. And now we have our two fighters in the back. Let's see what he chooses to bring. He brings in a Bastiodon, which is amazing for the Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan can just come in. We're going for the Fire Punch here. We could have built up to the close combat, but there's no point. We have this game in the bag, so we're just going for the safe counter down. We're not even shielding this. We already have Scrafty, which is going to win the game for us. But he goes for the Stone Edge for some reason. He brings in the Venusaur. Again, Venusaur is food for our Golbat, and there's not a lot he can do. This match is as good as dead. He could have won the game if he had played his Medicham better, but he didn't know that we had Shadow Hitmonchan in the back. He goes for the Sludge Bomb, which actually does respectable damage. To be honest, I was expecting even less, but it's Venusaur, the big boy, and we're going to go for another Poison Fang here. And we can live if it's a Frenzy plant, and he does throw the Frenzy here. Frenzy is double resisted, whereas Sludge Bomb is only single resisted. So in this matchup, going straight Sludge Bomb is definitely the play. But as you can see that the game is as good as over. Scrafty comes in, throws one punch, and the One Punch Man clinches the win. Good game. So finally we had a good lead here. No more GFIS, hopefully. No more GFIS leads. That was 4 or 5 GFIS leads. And now we lead into a Medicham, which is again amazing because Medicham absolutely destroys the backline. We are staying in. We are going to count his moves. He brings in an Empoleon, and this is good for the Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan can shield once and just farm him all the way down. And we can land a couple of Fire Punches on the Medicham, which will do a little bit of damage. Let's see what he chooses to do. He's going to come in with his Fairy. So this is looking really, really bad because he does not... We don't have a really good matchup with Scrafty. Scrafty is absolutely terrible against the Slurpuff, but Scrafty has some play against the Medicham. At least we can land a foul play. So we go for the Poison Fang, grab the shield, which means we can farm him down now. It takes a lot of time to reach a move. In comes the Medicham. Obviously we have to shield this because Golbat is our win condition, as you can see. And we go straight for the Shadow Ball. Does he expect it? Let's see. There's going to be a big call in the game, and sadly he does. So we're going to count up again. We're going to count up to 6 and switch and catch on the Scrafty. This was super important because this wastes his energy firstly, and it loads energy on our Golbat. All we have to do is reach a foul play. He throws another Ice Punch, or it could be a Power Up Punch as well if he's running it. He goes for the Pup, which doesn't really matter. We can go for the foul play. And the fairy guy, I forgot the name, is going to only get 1 charm in, and we can easily go for Poison Fang or Shadow Ball. Either move will KO him at this point. And this is another good game. So picking up the Medicham lead is definitely important, and if you don't pick up the counter tool fighters, you have to safe switch.